At any moment, you are welcome to come back to CoinSuri's channel. Request from viewer is, what do you think will happen next? You can also comment your opinion. Thank you to all the subscribers of our CoinSuris who came to our channel CoinSuris. You will always be info with the latest CoinSuris news. Option 1, will there be a settlement of XRP and XRP? Option 2, or XRP will win. Option 3, or SEC will win. Please like my video and subscribe my channel. Lately, an ex-Ripple employee has become very outspoken. I will tell you what he says at the beginning of the video regarding the future of Ripple and XRP, even if he was fired from Ripple. It looks that he has a good outlook on both projects. Still, by the end of the year, he accurately predicted that all Japanese banks will utilize XRP. Then there's a story that has to be concluded. That was earlier in the day. Probably the majority of you already know this. Ripple co-founder Chris Larsen had 213 million XRP stolen from him. Someone stole over $112 million from him at that period. It is clear that the police are conducting their investigation under his guidance. Still, I have some news to share. Attention all parties, the subject at hand is the automated market maker. No, it's just a regular one. I just wanted to make a little statement before we dive into the first anecdote with this former Ripple employee who is pretty enthusiastic about XRP. Needless to say, I want to be very clear, Ripple cannot ensure XRP's long-term survival. Sorry, I'm confused. While discussing the XRP ecosystem, Ripple is an essential component. We need to acknowledge this because it is significant. Sure, XRP stands apart. The speculators care whether you agree or disagree. So, this is split down the middle. At the same time, I tend to land someplace in the center. The XRP side is visible to you. In addition, the project's viability in the future is entirely on Ripple. I think that is totally illogical, if it matters anyhow. Although I can understand how their perspective could influence others, I do not believe it's a rippling effect that a large number of others share that opinion. However, there are many who maintain that Ripple and Natalie don't matter. We must ensure that ripples do not affect XRP's sustainability. Moreover, in my opinion, that is also pretty excessive. Because I am not putting my whole faith in Ripple to ensure the long-term viability of XRP. Nonetheless, I believe that every single developer doing their part to support the XRP ecosystem is crucial, and I wish them all the best of luck. Taking everything into account, XRP has a shot at making it in the end. You have to admit that Ripple is a big part of it. Is Ripple ultimately going to save XRP? It would be lacking something even if I said yes. I seem to be omitting some information. First things first, like the other coders, I take a yes and yes approach to things. May you be able to comprehend my perspective. What this former Ripple employee said is what I'm going to tell you. However, Ripple isn't everything. It is, without a doubt, crucial. Assuming it finds widespread use, XRP will continue to be an important asset class for some time to come, in my view. Just when you think XRP can't possibly be useful, it vanishes. Take this into account too. Without a doubt, sure. I made a movie featuring a few of Sean McBride's posts, maybe 2 days ago, but I can't remember when exactly I did it. On this platform, everything appears to blur together. Well, let's get back to the topic at hand, him. I decided to film this situation because I was intrigued by his decision to erase a message. In fact, it is the one that appears on your screen. I will read this in no time at all. He erased the one I had provided with you, which is the one at the very bottom of your screen. You can tell which one it is since he removed it. But now you can see it since I saved it. Some information about numerous layoffs at unconnected Bitcoin startups went viral. Interestingly, in response to that article, Sean McBride mentioned, just so you know, Ripple laid off most of its recruiting team last year, including me. An XRP community member from Chad Garlic Mice took to the news of your involvement in American recruiting to convey his sorrow and want further questions about what happened. Sean McBride used the word global as a singular word in his reply. As a result, there will be fewer people working on that specific project all across the globe. After that, Chad jotted down every possible justification for the company's lack of expansion or setback. The following was the response given by Sean McBride. He chose to delete this particular post. Why? I don't know, maybe it's because he's having trouble getting the attention he wants, or maybe it's just a different kind of focused attention. Before it vanished, it was only present here. He also mentioned that Ripple and XRP appear to be permanent fixtures. What is ahead for each of them is something that we should all be excited about. I am not qualified to provide specific information on a non-disclosure agreement, NDA. Incredible, in my view, is the fact that a fired worker openly declares that XRP, rather than Ripple, would succeed. In particular, a few things stand out. I decided to report it on the channels in part because of how he wiped it. After all, it is fascinating, isn't it? I still don't understand why this erasure was made. However, he need not say it. Indeed, that is what he said. It was indeed widely reported. I am certain of it. You should listen to what more he has to say. It was only last night. Please explain what XRP is and how it could be used in the future. As I've mentioned previously, practicality is paramount. In my view, it is the case. In any case, my premise is about investing. Last night, on January 30th, at 10:04 p.m. Central Time, Sean McBride wrote the following. Compared to the United States, where institutional adoption and government regulation of cryptocurrencies are still in their infancy, the amount of cash invested in Bitcoin outside of the US is truly amazing, especially in Southeast Asia and the United Arab Emirates. Those that accomplish a target or goals, along with XRP, will have been put into action and utilized by next year. The monetary sentence is so as follows. My personal opinion is that by year's end, it is anticipated that all Japanese banks would utilize XRP entirely for cross-border payments. This is why I can't fathom XRP's long-term sustainability, declining as its usage rate increases. Network effect has propelled XRP to 6th place in terms of cryptocurrency valuation, even in the face of attacks from the SEC. The broad adoption of the technology is to blame for this. But that remains astounding even now, after all these years. It remained in the top 10. Because my market becomes completely crazy. Repeatedly, this demonstrates that, although not the sole participant in the XRP ecosystem, Ripple does play a substantial role. We want this, it's wonderful, and we should be overjoyed to see it. After that, Sean McBride said, restating earlier remarks, the economy of Japan ranks 3rd in the world, just for fun. For your informational sake. It is my expectation that there will be many transactions. In my opinion, its sole effect will be to increase confidence in XRP's long-term viability. Their realization of this will grow as the number of investors involved grows. Would it be out of the question for them to diversify their crypto holdings by purchasing XRP? Yes, I think that's going to be the case for most people. In order to understand what he meant, I used Investopedia to check up the top nations by GDP. The United States dominates with a nominal GDP of $4.2 trillion, followed by Japan and China. That is wonderful to see. After giving it some thought, he acknowledged that he is not disclosing due to a non-disclosure agreement he signed. He has every right to be furious and frustrated with him because he is consistently making these statements, therefore my advice would be to watch his confidence. That is the primary reason why I am interested. I figured you might enjoy hearing this for that reason. It is important, in my opinion. The hack verifies the hack, which is certain to happen, and the price of XRP drops. Despite hints to some details at the beginning of the film, I'm going to assume you're already familiar with most of it. But twice before that, Chris Larson had posted. When I recorded the first one, the second one was far from my thoughts. The first one looked like this. Yesterday, someone illegally gained access to several of my personal XRP accounts, not Ripple. We notified the appropriate exchanges as soon as we became aware of the problem, allowing them to promptly freeze the affected addresses. Officials are presently addressing the matter. Very nicely. Also, I don't know which time recorders are now on sale for around 10% off. 10:30 or 45 minutes has passed. I don't remember much. On the other hand, 10,000. Frankly, I'm perplexed. I pinpointed the precise second in the video. In any case, I filmed the film shortly after the news broke in order to gather adequate perspectives from various sources. Following my completion of filming the video, Chris Larson promptly posted an additional post. Did someone lose hundreds of dollars? I intend to speak a great deal at this moment. For the common human being, this is a major issue. It is hoped that this would not hinder him, even if he is a billionaire and will finally be able to retire. However, the total is quite large. Who would harm him or anyone else in this way? I find it abhorrent. Still, he penned it earlier today at 11:06:16 a.m. Central Time. We have confirmed that nearly all of the affected funds were removed from XRP, proving that Ripple wallets are secure and uncompromised. This incident stands out. We are aggressively chasing the remaining cash in conjunction with the law enforcement, as they have notified us that a significant portion of the assets has already been frozen. I owe a great debt of gratitude to Thomas Silkgyre and the XRP Ledger Foundation. As a result, I am clueless as to how much was really converted into cash. Whatever the situation may be, it seems like a significant chunk of it didn't, which is in line with my expectations. I thought a chunk would learn about it and go to an exchange. The good news is that this was quickly remedied because Chris Larson was made aware of it. Eventually, they did get rolling on this, however some deals went to freebies more quickly than others. The asset's original status was not sold just because it was transformed to XRP. Thankfully, it seems like several exchangers have blocked a substantial amount of it. It seems like a lot of it was sold, though. So, it's unclear when this occurs or whether he will ever regain possession of it. Or we find out who's responsible. I'm really hoping this happens, since it would make for a fantastic story. It would make my day if someone got what was coming to them for acting in such a disgusting way. Negative people. Something disgusting, such is the nature of our culture. The problem is, I found those people to be completely disgusting. Brad Garlandhouse said in his repost that some poor reporting and speculation did not cause any rippling effects, and I agree with him. The hack of managed wallets did occur, that much is true. Adding to that, that's great, I'm glad they're coming out. I should mention that that is the right thing to do. Something else to think about is that many people are taking this opportunity to criticize Ripple specifically. I won't get into it here, but it was discouraging. Slapping the blame on them is sufficient. To be more precise, I did spot one man who seemed to be, however, there is one thing I will not reveal. Whoever it is, I could probably figure it out. I am not interested in beginning anything, so there's no need to. A few people are being unfairly critical of Chris Larson and Ripple in particular, which is unfortunate. In addition, the idea that this is a sign is not implied, and there are some people whose lines I can't tell if they are intentional or just rhetorical. Sloppy, irresponsible behavior. In a similar vein to what Garlandhouse is saying, I've seen that some people are eager to hold Ripple accountable, and I want to know why. Why not simply hold the perpetrators accountable? Do you think it's real? It's not hard at all. Individuals guilty of these crimes ought to be found and punished with severe prison terms. Despite popular belief, Ripple did nothing wrong. Chris Larson also failed to do so. Chris Larson is the one who takes a hit in this situation. Those who choose to remain anonymous in the face of mounting evidence just do not have my sympathy. In the event that you are not adept at solving problems of such kind, etc. Is there a specific reason your brain is behaving erratically? I must admit, I am perplexed. So, it concludes the video. Please maintain your likes and subscriptions. Very soon, I will be seeing you. So long.